If you know something about whitewater kayaking, it's like class 4 plus, which is like you have to know what you're doing. You have to be able to navigate. And I got sucked in and stuck like in a whirlpool. Flipped like the kayak was flipped over, so I couldn't flip it back. And I was stuck there, and I thought for a second, fuck me, I'm gonna be stuck here. I'm gonna drown here.
Amazon rainforest.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
I've heard there are anacondas, there are many kinds of species of plants, animals that scientists have not yet discovered. Do you think the tribes know secrets of the forest like which are not yet been discovered? And
Yeah. I'm sure there's so much out there that we don't know. I write about my journeys on my Instagram and stuff, but I haven't really shared about that. But I've probably seen 15 dead bodies in the river. So
you think people see spirits and like kind of...
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah. If there's one country in the world, as a country with a lot of culture, like really rich on culture and spirituality and religion and, you know, a lot of stuff to tell, it's India. People that know about Denmark, the first thing they always say is that we are the happiest people in the world. But also I think there is a lot of suffer, actually. Without us knowing it, I think that we're craving for something that we actually don't need.
Hello, welcome to another exciting episode of the Mrityunjay Show. Today's guest is very special. You have seen many foreigners traveling to India. How they travel? Either they take flight, they take car, or they rent a bike. But today's guest, one of the very few who have chosen, I think it would be better to say the first one, who has chosen water. And he is doing this 45 days. He came to KUMBH by rafting on river Ganga. So we are gonna know his stories and his adventures. So without any delay, let's begin. So Michael, how are you, man?
Very good. How are you doing?
Man, too good, man. So Michael, the thing is that, like, please tell about yourself. Like, how do you have this crazy idea, man, of like, of coming to India through like the waterways and by canoeing yourself, like?
My name is Mikkel, and I am 31 years old.
Okay.
I started traveling 7 years ago.
Okay.
I started, like as you said, not many people do in India, like backpacking and busing around and doing trains and stuff like that. So I was traveling around for 2 years, doing buses and stuff like that, and I found it amazing. Like I wanted to continue with traveling, but I also kind of wanted to go a little bit deeper, like under the surface. Like, you know, when you travel around countries quickly, as you do with buses and trains, it's obviously not as quick as with flights.
Yeah.
But you still only get from, you take a bus from A to B, so you only see the two cities you are going to.
Absolutely.
You don't see anything in between.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then me and my friend, we had an idea. We wanted to try to cycle. So we wanted to go on an adventure, and we cycled. So we cycled from Denmark to South Africa.
Okay, so you cycled from Denmark to South Africa?
On bicycles, yes. That was the first real interaction with locals, where it was not about being in this town and now getting to the next town. It was, we had a goal to get there, but it was everything in between that was the awkward, the funny, the weird moments happened, all the stuff that it makes an adventure. So the cities, when you get to a city, you'll walk around, you'll see all the, the temples, the churches, and different things, whatever you come for, all the attractions. But in between, that's where you get the real contact and the connection with the locals, the funny moment on the roads, like people offering you food, people offering you a place to stay, like really intimate and really amazing experiences. So I've been cycling a few times after that. I've been cycling around in the Balkans for a few months. I was cycling from the States to Panama over 8 months as well. And then I thought, like, I would like to go to India. Before I had been in India, like 5-6 years ago, I was in India, but I had to go home before I wanted to. Now I wanted to come back, and I wanted to try to travel in a different way, and it would not be by bike, because now I've done that a few times. I would try something different, and I thought it would be fun to travel on water, and I'm really intrigued by the spirituality around Ganga and the whole the whole vibration around the religious part of it, and I thought I would like to know more.
Ganga is very holy. So, like, do you feel that kind of spiritual energy when you were traveling? So do you have any experiences like that?
It's a really good question. So it's a holy place because we make it a holy place.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the significance of the people who are living along the Ganga, it's really special to them. And because it's special to them, it's special to me.
Have you met Agoris?
Agori Babas.
Agori Babas?
I haven't met any Agori Babas yet.
You're going to Banaras, na?
Uh,
By canoe?
yes.
On the way you will meet.
Yeah.
Eat the Agoris.
I'm looking forward to that.
So you started from where?
I started traveling up to Gangotri, to Gaumuk.
Tell me about that.
Okay, so I went up to Gaumuk and with bus just to figure out how I can actually start this travel on the water. Realized the water is super hectic up there. You know, it's not
Shallow and like
not possible to paddle. Yeah, the current is really strong, and I'm not a professional paddler. I know what I'm doing, but I'm not professional. So I traveled up. That's also where I saw the significance of this river. You know, everyone goes to Gangotri to have relationship with the Ganga, and they sacrifice some stuff, and they make their daily pujas, and so I really realized how special this river is. Then I made a collaboration with a rafting company who had whitewater kayak, and I took a kayak
And then you came back.
with a route guide, and then I started on Alakananda River. And continued from Alakananda River and down
to
onto Ganga River, and then through Rishikesh. And in Rishikesh, I changed the kayak to my canoe that I flew over from Denmark. It's a foldable one, so it's like a metal aluminium frame, and you have like wrap it around the materials. And then I swapped the kayak for the canoe, and then I continued in the canoe.
Tell me, like, when you were traveling the Ganges, so like, were you staying in the boats only, or like you were paddling from like morning to maybe evening, or the night also?
No. I
Night also?
only paddle when the sun is up.
The sun is up.
Yeah. So
After that, like paddling the whole day. So where you were like, you have to rest now.
Yeah.
Like whole day it's a long day.
Yeah.
Okay, man, you have to rest. So where were you resting? Like in the hotels or nearby?
No. I brought all my own stuff. So I have my own tent.
Camping?
Yeah.
Oh my
My
god.
own tents, my own little cooker and pots. And then I could cook my own food, and I pitched my tent, and it's super calm, the life around, like along the river. It's not, when you go to a city and there's roads, there's always hustle and bustle in India. The tuk-tuks are hooting, and the cars are like, there's always noise and a lot of things happening. But along the Ganga, you just hear the birds, and it's completely quiet. And I could just I just like stopped on the bank, pitched my tent, and made some dinner, and jumped into the tent and slept, and then for sunrise got out and started paddling again.
So like the Ganges, when you were traveling, like you were backpacking on the Ganges, right? So have you, like, when you were coming down the Alakananda, the river, have you seen, like, there were many places where what they do is they generally in Hinduism, what we do after we die, like they burn the bodies. So have you seen any burning bodies like in the banks of the Ganges, or like any exciting things that you would like to share while you were traveling?
It's actually not something I really have shared. I write about my journeys on my Instagram and stuff, but I haven't really shared about that. But I've probably seen 15 dead bodies in the river.
Did you have
from the start all the way to here, just for Varanasi.
burning bodies?
So I've seen two where the bodies were not completely burned.
Okay.
And then rest of them has been not burned bodies. So like has actually been dead babies and dead people laying face down, probably by an accident or whatever might have happened. But I've seen a few dead bodies in the river.
How has it changed you, man? Like you felt, how did you feel? Because I know we are coming from like Denmark now. Yeah. You don't see these kind of stuff, like, so it's very new. So how, like, what was your experience, man?
Yeah, good question. Like I was prepared for this. Like I know that you're burning people next to the Ganges and letting them go in the Ganges. So my expectation.
What we do is basically we burn the bodies completely.
I know, yeah.
And they turn into ashes, and
Exactly.
we take the ashes,
Yeah.
and then there's a process, and then we,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I knew about that, and I've been surprised to actually see all the the burning, because you burn a lot of bodies, obviously. And I've been surprised to see how well you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a coincidence. It's very well performed, and it's very respectful, and the body really burns into ashes. Like, there's nothing left of the bodies. So that's also why I was surprised to not see more bodies. I thought it was gonna be
Like flooded with
no. I mean it. I thought there was gonna be a lot of bodies. I thought I was gonna be paddling, like hitting a body. Yeah. Like, obviously it has not been like that at all.
You thought like it would be the river of a hell, all kind of red bodies all around you, paddling in between.
I could have been paddling down, like,
Skulls popping out.
high five. Yeah.
Oh my!
Not like that.
It's not like
No. It's a different thing, experience, like that you see a dead body.
Yeah.
But I like the way that you guys are doing it in Danivad.
Okay. I have some tea, man.
Danivad.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you want one?
Okay. You know,
Danivad.
tea is good between podcasts. Yeah.
Of course.
Well, let's have it, man.
We need a chai. Cheers, man.
Really chai. Cheers, man.
I
don't drink it, but I will drink it
Oh,
for you.
I drink a lot of chai here, for sure.
Right.
But yeah, so I was prepared to see like a lot worse. So when I then saw a body, I was obviously I was like, ooh, like that's weird.
Yeah.
But it's such a natural part of life. It's the only thing that is for sure after we are born. The only thing that is for sure from my life and your life is that we're gonna die. So it's and in India you make it such a natural thing that you burn the bodies next to the river. I really have gotten to enjoy that culture that you're having around it, because in my culture we hide the bodies. We put them in a coffin. We put makeup on them so they look nice if we have an open casket in the funeral.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You put makeup?
Yes. Make sure that they look nice, which is nice.
Which is nice.
Yeah. But we hide the reality of what death actually is. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's the hard truth, Truth always hits hard.
And it's more hard if you are covering it.
Covering it, man.
If you just show it as it is, then it is what it is. So yeah. So I really admire your culture in the afterlife process. I think it's I really get to, and you're doing it in such a nice, respectful way. So yeah, that's it's not changed me that I've seen dead people. I was prepared for a lot worse, and I've gotten so much more out of it, like experiencing the way that you handle the process after someone's life has ended.
Yeah. Like when you were traveling down the riverbank, so there are many wild places like where there is no light, no electricity, so you have to camp in the dark. So were you scared? Like,
yeah, obviously when the sun sets it gets dark, and I think Indian people, you're more used to that. You want like, how am I gonna say this? I felt very safe even though it gets dark, and even though it's like a little jungle-wise or like forest.
Yeah.
And because I know that if there is animals, they are definitely more afraid of me than I am. They'll be more afraid, so they're not gonna approach me.
Yeah.
So the most encounters I had with animals was cows and buffaloes.
Okay.
Lots of them, like lots of buffaloes, lots of water buffaloes. Yeah. And I had beautiful encounters with dolphins. You have lots of dolphins in the Ganga River.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
We have dolphins. What you encountered with them?
Yes, many.
Okay, tell me.
The river dolphin. Well, they're super funny. Have you seen one?
I've not seen one physically, but
Okay.
yeah, in the films.
You've seen a picture, yeah. So the face, like they have their beak is super long and narrow.
Okay.
So it looks like what is it like? It looks like a sword almost.
Oh yeah.
So it looks very different to a normal dolphin, the ones that I've seen before, and they are almost blind. So their eyes. I saw one very close up, like right next to the canoe, and the eyes are smaller than like a little pea, and they literally can't see because the river is it's quite brown. It's not this, like, you can't see, and so they obviously they swim for vibrations and stuff like that, and hunt under the water as well, and they eat fish. But yeah, they were super cute. You know, they come up once in a while.
Like,
No,
like when you're doing like
they don't come close really.
shy.
They're shy. Yeah, they are curious. You can feel that because they come up and have a look and like they come around, but they never come close. And then at some point it was like right under my canoe and came up right next to me. I was super surprised because they come up for air, so it's like a big sound it comes up with. But yeah, like every day, you know, on the river when you're sitting there and you're thinking, what am I actually doing in this river? You know what I mean? You know, I'm just sitting on a river. There will always come a dolphin up, and you'll be like, oh, that's nice. Yeah. So you know, the wildlife was surprising actually. Like I also saw a few different deers.
Okay.
I saw the 4 of the big nilgai deer,
Where?
antelope. Where is this? This is close to Prayagraj. Maybe a few days before Prayagraj, like 5 days before Prayagraj, towards Kanpur. I saw 4 big nilgai antelopes, and they are like as big as a horse. They're huge. And I thought, when I saw them the first time, I thought, oh, that's like a horse. And then I looked like, that's not a horse. And then they were shy. Obviously, they're not used to. Yeah. They were like, what the hell is he doing here?
Culling dolphins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
But yeah, so wildlife, lots of different crocodiles, the gharial crocodile,
the gharials, yeah.
same beak as the dolphin.
I was going to say that.
Exactly.
It's almost like they eat fish also. Like
They eat fish. Yeah.
the beak is. I have heard that their beaks, the teeth are very sharp.
Very sharp,
Yeah.
and like they're sticking out everywhere. You could see it,
Yeah.
and they are long. They're like 5-6 meters, the big ones. So, and I didn't know there was crocodiles. So when I saw one the first, I was like, holy, there's crocodiles here. But they are very shy. So when I got closer to, because that's interesting, you know, you see a crocodile on the bank, you want to see it close up. And when you get closer, they disappear under the water. So I've seen quite a few, but I didn't get very close, you know, maybe within 10 meters to the closest one. Yeah. But beautiful, like really cool experience.
Great, man. You're from Denmark. So how did this all happen? Like, was it a thought? Was it a experience? Or like, what's the mess all about?
So I told you before, I like to travel places to meet the locals and to get under the skin and, you know, be a part of the culture. And if there's one country in the world, obviously there's quite a few, but if there's one you would pick out as a country with a lot of culture, like really rich on culture and spirituality and religion and, you know, a lot of stuff to tell, it's India. It's so rich on that. And I thought, going to India, there's so much to learn. You know, we're all learning. Life is just it's one big lesson. It's just about learning, getting to understand more about ourselves, about the people, about the world, how it all works. So I love to travel to places to learn. And India is definitely a place where you can learn, if not stuff about people, then at least some stuff about yourself. Because you get exposed to very different scenarios. You get to understand why you react or why you don't react or why you, whatever emotions you go through. So that's why I wanted to come to India, is to meet the people, to talk to you, to sit and talk to you now, to talk to everyone we meet here at the MAHAKUMBH. And it's just a part of life, learning. That's why I'm here.
Like, you've come to MAHAKUMBH now. It's like very few people, like the very lucky ones. I think only the very lucky ones, like they manage to come to Kumbh. So like, it's your first time, I think, attending Kumbh. It's your very first Kumbh, MAHAKUMBH.
Well, it's the first one in the last 144 years, so it's your first one as well. Everyone's first one.
Yeah, but obviously.
It's my first.
The first one. Tell me something about the MAHAKUMBH, like your experience. How do you like see, like there are so different kinds of plethora of saints and holy men. They are all living high up in the mountains, and they come in this particular time of the year to, like, for 1 month they're all together. That's kind of how you feel here.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out, like, you know, what's up and down. You know, I've been here for like a few days before it started, and now we're a few days in, so 5 days, something like that.
Okay.
And it's, first of all, it's massive. It's massive. You can't walk from one end to the other. And there's so much stuff going on, you know. It's difficult to figure out what the hell is actually happening. You know, as a person not knowing much about the religion, you know, obviously I'm trying to, but it's big. You know, Hindu. Yeah. So I'm just absorbing the whole thing. I'm just a sponge trying to figure out what's going on, and I really admire your belief, that you believe so much in something, that you travel like from all over the country to this place in this time, because you know that's how the universe is telling you this is the right time to go for a dip, to cleanse your soul, or to like for worship the gods, and whatever the reasons might be. And I think it's amazing to have millions and millions of people going for a dip at the Sangam where the rivers are meeting, and just feeling the vibration and excitement from all the people. Like people are here having the time of their life, like really. And obviously that, you know, goes on me as well. Like when I'm looking at people's face and they are so happy, like I'm obviously also going to be extremely happy. So, you know, as a person that is not having the same beliefs or like knowing much about the religion, it still gets to me because I see everyone who is enjoying it the way they are. So I think MAHAKUMBH is incredible. I'm so happy that I came here.
Yesterday we were having a talk. Remember we were chilling in the streets and we were discussing about those food, like people are just serving, you know, tons and tons of food. Like you were very excited, like, yeah, share some, like, like when you saw these things for the first time, how did you feel like?
Well, yeah, good point. So we talked about yesterday, or well, I brought it up, that I think it's amazing that we are at a gathering with millions of people, and we are cooking here in our camp and in every other ashram camp. We're cooking the whole day, and we are putting the food in big pots outside our camp and serving for everyone. Everyone that passed by gets free food. How incredible is that? You don't see that anywhere else in the world. That is community. That is bringing people together. That's unity. It's togetherness. It's we help everyone. We put our hands around every person. If they need help, if they're hungry, whoever it might be, rich, poor, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Foreigner, local, doesn't matter. Everyone gets fed. Everyone is happy. Everyone is taking part. Everyone is contributing with some way, one or the other. And this is the most special thing for me, because I love the thing where we bring people together. And if there's something we can be together about, it's definitely, you know, the daily things. Yeah. Food.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm amazed. I'm amazed by that.
Like here in the Mahakumbh, the most important offering that you can make is ANNADAAN. You know what's ANNADAAN? ANNADAAN is like sharing your food. Like it's not even sharing, it's like providing food for everybody. It doesn't matter who, rich, poor, as you mentioned, foreigner, local, doesn't matter. It's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like in Sanatan Dhanam, ANNADAAN is like, it's compared to as Prandan. You know what's Prandan? It's like giving of life. Like water, you know? It's like that. So you saw some Naga sadhus? Yeah, man. These are wild men, man. They are wild men. And they're very holy men. Like, man, tell me about the Naga sadhus.
The Nagas.
The Nagas.
Yeah.
Naga sadhu?
Yeah, the Naga sadhus. Naga sadhus, Naga Babas?
Naga Babas.
Who is following them? Like, because
Of KUMBH.
let's say Babas is a leader, right? Spiritual leader.
Yeah.
A sadhu is like an individual seeking enlightenment, right?
Absolutely. No,
So then both.
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Like the sadhus and the Nagas, they are all they are a special kind of sadhus, a special category of sadhus.
Okay.
They are like fighter men. So what they do is they, in one hand, they say there is mala, and the other hand there is phala. That means on one hand, you give your own life by serving others, by looking care of others, and on the other hand, you have your phala, you have your weapon. The weapon is basically, it symbolizes like protection from evil. So these are like very holy men. They are like, you can say they are like a men like Jesus. Okay, they are like Jesus. They spread love and, you know, all this kind. But in the other hand, they know how to punish evil also.
Yeah.
Like for example, there are many people who exploit the poor, who like torture the poor, and there are also many people like yesterday we talked about. So these people, the evil ones, they need to be, you know, like they need to be punished.
Yeah.
So they are, you know, doing that duty of, they're taking that kind of duty. So, you know, you're telling about Naga sadhus, you know, like,
So they're bringing justice to the world.
yeah, they're bringing justice to the world with compassion.
With compassion.
With compassion.
Yeah.
And when it's needed, when things go very bad, they will use
Power.
power.
Yeah.
Because, man, it's very true. Like,
Yeah.
like, when your opponent is a demon, sweet words don't work. It's so true, man.
Good point.
In the world also, like, people with guns, how will you change them with kind words? Like, they are here to kill, no? So it's like that, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I hear you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the Nagas, yeah, they, well, you know, it's if you look at how a normal a society looks like in all over the world, and then you see the Babas who is naked, covered in ashes, and you know, roaming the streets and going in groups, big hordes of them coming down to the river, and you know, they're powerful. They come with a lot of power and energy and speed, and they swing around their swords. You know, it's exciting. It's fucking exciting. Yeah, so I'm really intrigued. You know, it's incredible to come to a gathering where you get all the sadhus, the babas, the gurus at the same place. You know, you can travel all around India and find these people. Like, you really have to go and look for them. And now they all come together. So one thing is that there's 400 million people here, which is insane. Another thing is there's millions of babas here. You know, it's incredible. So obviously the energy level is super high. The knowledge, the wisdom is over the roof, like through the roof, I think it's called. It's very special, you know. It's obviously, this is never gonna, it's not gonna happen again.
You don't see this in Europe.
Oh, no, you don't even see it in India. Just now, just here. So it's obviously very special.
Every day you were bathing in the Sangam, right? Triveni Sangam?
Today I haven't, but
Oh, we'll go. Yeah, we will go.
but the last 4 days I've been bathing in the Sangam, yeah.
How
Not in the Sangam, at the GANGA.
At the Ganga. Okay.
At the
One at the Sangam. So yesterday I think you bathed on the Sangam.
Close by.
Close by. No problem.
Yesterday was
Yeah,
Like a lot.
it was from 49. Fucking
crazy.
It was fucking
Crazy. We couldn't get there.
Yeah. So, like, how was the water, man? It was terribly, man. It froze my leg, you know. Oh my god.
Come on. You know, I'm from Scandinavia. I'm from Denmark, so the water is cold normally.
Man.
I'm used to it. The water is quite warm here.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It could be much colder.
Yeah.
So I thought it was nice, refreshing.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It was very good.
But you know, I know when people they go and take a dip, like having a strong belief that they, you know, they are a new person. Is that how you would say it?
Absolutely.
And you know, I feel like a new person because I got a refreshment.
Yeah, the first dip that you take, man, it froze my dick.
It's so funny.
Oh, funny. It happened to me once.
So this cold. It was this cold.
No, it was being But like I'm saying that it was the first day, but it was very cold.
Yeah.
Like, but after the second, third day, but you feel like it's good, man. Again.
Yeah.
Like very refreshing. Did you feel that calm effect after bathing?
Yeah.
Tell me how did you feel after just getting out of the water?
Well, it's quite normal for me to go and take a dip in the morning.
Did you feel things got very calm after, like, your mind settled? Did you feel that sensation? Like after you take the dip, it's like the world is stood still. Did you feel like that?
Yeah. You know, it's like it's a nice thing for your body, I think. If you believe or don't believe or whatever. Like having a cold dip in the morning. It's like, you know, it's like now the day starts. Maybe you have been up for 2 hours walking to the fucking Sangam because it's so long and it's so crowded. But as you get the dip, that's where I feel like now I'm awake. I'm really awake.
You're awake, yeah.
So I'm like tapped in to this place.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it.
So from Mahakumbh, let's now move to Denmark.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, from Mahakumbh to Denmark.
Yeah.
So tell me, man, how is life out there, like in your Denmark?
Yeah, so obviously now we are in India, and the people that know about Denmark, the first thing they always say is that we are the happiest people in the world. And there's obviously some spreadsheets where
you are looking joyful, man. You are looking joyful.
trying to, yeah. So we, but you are too, man. You are too.
Thank you.
So we are. So that's how people see us. And obviously, if you look at some graphs, I don't know how you measure the happiest people in the world. I think it's a lot about like welfare. Like we have high education, we have high welfare. It's very like secure. There's not much crime. All that stuff that would make someone happy. But I also think we are in lack of connections with each other.
Absolutely.
I think we are, because we are more like capitalized. We make more money for sure. Like our salary is higher. It's also more expensive to live there. But as we make more money, we also want our own place. Everyone has their own apartment. And then when it's not sunny and nice weather outside and it's cold, people lock themselves inside. And then we disconnect from each other because we are staying separate. Where you guys, when you are alone, you'll still be with your families. So you'll be 10 people together.
In Denmark, when things go cold, like when the weather is cold, so people retrieve.
Yeah. So people retrieve because we have a very we live a very comfortable life.
Okay.
And with comfort, I mean warm and cozy, a nice bed. You can be inside in a warm apartment instead of being outside on the street or in the park or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely the cold weather, together with that we have enough money to provide ourselves an apartment or a place that we can heat up, it brings us like further apart from each other. That's my view on it. This is my take on it.
Oh,
So, and we have a lot of materialistic stuff, we are looking for it. That's like, the society is, you after school you do a university and you get a job. I think this is how it is in India as well. But we are looking for making more and more money. And when we have a car, we want another car. We want a newer car. We want a bigger place. We want a house instead of an apartment. So I think there is a lot of suffer, actually, without us knowing it. I think that we're craving for something that we actually don't need. And this is me talking as a traveler, not having any possessions, not having any things really. So I know for a fact from my life, from my experience, that a more simple life, having less possessions, is an easier life and it's a more happy and joyful life. I think so.
What is?
But so Denmark is now I've really like talked it down as well. It's a beautiful country. It has amazing people. I love to go to Denmark. It's very vibrant. Same as India, where there's less stuff going on all the time.
Every day.
So I talked about the winter now, the summer, especially in the cities. It's super vibrant. There's always stuff going on, always events happening, music playing. There's always somewhere, a place to go and explore, a place to go and hang out with your friends.
So life is chill right there.
Life is chill. Life is fast as well. Life is fast.
City?
Yeah, in the cities.
It's all over.
Delhi, super busy city as well. Mumbai also, yeah. Cities, they attract, it's business. It's business, yeah.
If a foreigner wants to come to Denmark, so as you were born there, you know every bit of it, and you are a traveler, man. Give me 10 best places that they can visit.
10?
10.
Oof.
Okay, 5. We'll start it down to 5. Okay. Let's do 5.
Okay.
Best places for hiking, like if you are an environment lover, if you are a nature lover, you want to, just go with a backpack, set up a tent, make a bonfire.
Yeah. So I can definitely give you that because I've actually cycled around Denmark.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cycle around the Denmark?
Cycle around Denmark on an old long john bicycle. I'll send you a picture. It's from the 1950s, so it's 70 years old. And I cycle around with my gear on and I made a little tour. It was quite fun.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, Denmark.
Talk about it.
Denmark, five best places.
5 best places.
So there's obviously Copenhagen is one of them, the capital of Denmark, Copenhagen. And there's obviously a few places you want to see in Copenhagen. So you want to see Christiania. Christiania is like a big attraction. It's a free town. So it's back in the 70s, in the hippie times, there were some people that conquered a peace inside Copenhagen, in the capital. They conquered a place and they said like, we want to settle here and we don't want to pay taxes and we want to smoke weed, you know, and they got that.
Okay.
And it's still there. And so
they smoke weed.
they smoke weed and it's free. No police come in and control. You know, they have relationship kind of like there is some interactions once in a while, but special place. You know, in the middle of a city, you come into a free town where you can smoke your weed and you can sit and chill in the sun, have a beer and all that. So that's a special place. Also beautiful.
Yeah.
Copenhagen, go to Christiania. There's lots of other places, but let's move on to some more like nature stuff maybe. There's an island called Møn, which is like an hour and a half drive from Copenhagen, and it has beautiful sand cliffs. So you follow the ocean, you follow the water around on this island, and you see big sand cliffs, like almost 100 meters drop down. So you stand on top, and you have sand kind of dunes or cliffs going all the way down to very blue turquoise water. So a very beautiful spot to go and hang out or bring a picnic or go for a hike around that area.
Okay.
Nice place. And another place for nature, To National Park.
Yeah, please, man.
West part, beautiful. It's quite like deserted. It looks like it's quite deserted. There's no trees. It's on the west coast. We have quite strong wind.
Can you please repeat the name of the national park?
To National Park.
True.
To.
Okay.
Difficult to pronounce, I know.
To.
What are they? Maybe Thai.
What's the spelling of that?
THY.
Okay, two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two national park. Okay.
Exactly.
Two national.
And you know, we have a very strong wind from the west normally, especially on the west coast, which is where To National Park is. So there's no trees, but it's very like kind of deserted. You have like small hills, sand and grass, and it looks quite, you know, you can see far. It's here you mostly have a quite foggy. You can't see very far. Where there, it's always a clear sky. You can see far, and that is a beautiful place to go for hiking. Lots of good surfing, kite surfing as well. So if you're into like some water sports, that's a nice place to go for sure. How many places was that? 3?
3, 4, and 2 left.
2 left.
Two
Two
left.
more. Am I gonna mention 2 more?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. What are we doing? We are going Bornholm. There's an island south of Sweden. So Denmark is obviously very close to Sweden. That's our neighbor country. And south from Sweden, there's an island, small island, like 120 kilometers around. And it's very different to the rest of Denmark. The rest of Denmark doesn't have any like cliffs in that way or hills. But Bornholm is like an island made on rocks and cliffs. It reminds more of Sweden than Denmark actually. It's also close to Sweden. Anyway, beautiful mountain biking, kayaking around the island and climbing on the cliffs, and nice little harbor towns. You know, it's a nice vibe. It's very chilled. On an island, it's more chilled. Yeah. So Bornholm, place to go.
Last one, the final one.
Last one. Right.
Last one.
Okay, well that has been nature places. So now we'll go with another city, right?
Yeah.
So Aarhus is the biggest city in Jutland, west part of Denmark. And Aarhus is a really beautiful town. It's small, you can walk around. You know, if you go to a big town in India, you can forget about walking around. Like you'll take a tuk-tuk or a scooter or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So in Aarhus, you can easily walk around, so everything is compact, you know, it's close. So if you want to go to like through a street where you can buy shopping and stuff like that, it's right there. You just take a turn, then you get all down to all the restaurants that is like laid up. In the evening, it'll be lit up and beautiful lights around town, and you have a channel, like a little harbor going through the town. And so you can sit by the water, drink a beer, whatever you might prefer.
Like night. What is like
Good nightlife.
Good-
Yeah, for sure.
Which state has the best nightlife in Denmark? Like
Copenhagen. Capital. Yeah. Big nightlife.
Big.
Lots of clubs, lots of bars.
Okay.
We have a big drinking culture in Denmark.
Okay.
Drink a lot of beers.
Many different kinds of beer, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have like thousands of beers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
You can go into bars and they have microbreweries. Like they
What is-
bring beers in from a microbrewery is a brewery that makes beers.
Okay.
but it's small enough so it's not like big and commercial and like mass production.
You can customize it.
Yeah, and they have, they make a batch of, I don't know how many, but like a few hundred beers maybe a few thousand, instead of making millions of them. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So these bars, they will have lots of different beers. So you can have different crafted beers, IPAs, different tastes. So, we have a big drinking, like sitting in India talking about beers and drinking is weird. I haven't been drinking a beer since I came here.
Man, I've heard that, girls in Denmark are very beautiful, man. Is it true? I heard, yeah, these guys, these are waiting for this kind of a
That is the question. Yeah.
That's crazy, That's spice of things, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I have to be honest on that. So,
You have to be honest.
I've literally traveled all over the world.
Yeah.
On all, it's like 6, I haven't been on Antarctica, but 6 continents. And every time I come back from a travel to Denmark in the summer, on the bicycle in Copenhagen, and all the ladies, all the girls in their summer dresses sitting on their bicycle, long blonde hair, or brunettes, or whatever, they're beautiful, very beautiful. Scandinavian girls, Danish girls, Swedish girls, Norwegian girls. They are very, very good looking. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's
What you hear is true.
yeah. Sweden also?
Sweden also. You can also go to Sweden. Yeah.
How me do it, you?
Yes.
Like, okay, so like you cycled about, the entire Denmark. So
Yes.
yeah, share the experience there.
Well, I actually the idea was I have traveled quite a bit now,
Okay.
and to travel around the world or on a bicycle and travel for a long time, like a year, seems quite. That's not for me. You know what I mean? It seems quite out there, and it seems like it's cost a lot of money and a lot of like time, effort put into it, and I need to be experienced. And it's not like that. You just need to get the gear and go. Then it would unfold. So with the travel in Denmark, I wanted to show people that you can travel in your own country and be on an adventure, explore your own country, and you don't need new and fancy gear. You can take your oldest, shittiest bike and put your gear on it and cycle around. So that's why I had this bike from 1950s, 70-year-old bike, and I put my stuff on it. And I cycled out, and I had friends joining me for the ride, and we cycled around for 6 weeks. I was cycling around Denmark.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. You can do it a lot faster. It's a small country. But I was exploring small villages and stuff like that.
Like any scary encounters you had while traveling? Because man, you are a hardcore traveler. I can understand. I can see it in your eyes, man. You love to travel. I also love to travel.
Yeah.
Like college and universities, they tie people.
Yeah. It'll come, more of it.
They cut your wings,
Yeah.
So like during travel, any adventures, like any situations you faced which scared the shit out of you? Like, was there anything like which you were really scared, or any moment that that you will never forget the rest of your life? Like
I've experienced some stuff where you get the vibe you get from the local people. Maybe they are like up to no good, but it's very, it can be easy to feel. So if that's the case, you just move on. That's the nice thing about having the freedom of having a bike. You can just like jump on your bike and cycle off. I've been around in Mexico, for instance, and El Salvador, Honduras, some of the lists.
you've been to Latin America also?
Yeah.
So you're
On bicycle.
on bicycle?
Yeah.
You cross Latin America on bicycle?
Yeah. From America, from the top all the way down to Panama. Yeah. So and those are on the top list of like homicide. Like there's a lot of crime being committed there, and I was just on my bike and having a great time. Like people really invite you in, and in Mexico, obviously we all know as if like the cartel is really present. A lot of police hanging out, but like every car that drove past us with a machine gun on top of the car, they would still be like waving at me when I came on the bicycle. You zigzag through places where there definitely will be some danger, but in the very end, people always want you the best. You realize that the world is not as dangerous as we make it, as the media makes it, as the politicians or the government makes it. If when I travel to India, my government says you can't don't go to these few places because it's dangerous there. And when someone tells me don't go there, that's like the first place I want to go. Because I want to experience, I want to see it with my own eyes. I think there's so much bullshit being said, And if you don't experience with your own eyes or taste it with your own tongue, how are you gonna know? Yeah. But with that said as well, I've had a terrible accident happen to my best friend. He cycled in Iraq, and his bike hit a roadside bump, an old mined roadside bump, and he died immediately. He died on the spot. Yeah, so I was, yeah, no, it's okay. Thank you. It's almost 3 years ago now.
Okay.
And it was the person that I cycled from Denmark to South Africa with. A person I've been doing a lot of adventures with, and a very special person to my life. So obviously, when you lose someone really close to you, it changes some things. It makes you look at the life in a different way. You have to like put it into perspective. What are we actually doing here? What is life about? But it also taught me that what we were doing together, what I am doing, is what my friend would have loved me to continue doing, because that's what we did.
Absolutely.
So even though that shit happens, and you can terrible accidents like this, wrong place, wrong time, could happen anywhere. This was just completely unfortunate, and it's like a real disaster. But it definitely hasn't changed my mind about traveling and exploring and being curious on people and on countries. And because when he died, it's like it was an old mining laying in the road. It was not something that wanted him something bad. It's just a shitty old war where they haven't removed all the mines that were digged down at that time. And his bike hit that. And it comforts me that no one wanted to hurt him. It was not meant for him. It's just a war.
Do you believe in destiny?
Well, it's difficult to believe in destiny when your best friend dies when he's 28 years old. But I believe there's some things happen for a reason. I still don't really have figured out what the reason was for this one. But in my life, the reason why I meet people that take me on this path, and then I meet these people that take me on this path, and then your life becomes the people, the environment you are in. I believe in that. I believe in that destiny. There's a reason why I'm meeting you. Gonna lead me to something else.
So it was when you were crossing Panama, I think you met with this kind of drug cartels and...
It's in Mexico.
In Mexico.
Mostly in Mexico, yeah.
Oh, and in the Colombia part of things?
Colombia is in South America. I wasn't in Colombia. And this time I stopped in Panama. It's the southernmost country in Central America.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But no, beautiful, and amazing people. Everyone heartwarming, inviting you inside, curious on what you're doing, and...
Have you been to Medellin?
Medellin?
Yeah?
No, I haven't been there, no.
It's like everybody is very... These days, Medellin is like the hot topic.
For sure.
When you travel to Colombia and South America, Medellin is like the thing you need to go.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to Medellin.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's a very hip. It's become a very hip place, and before it has a quite dark history as well, with Pablo Escobar running it, and running the biggest drug cartel.
Have you really met during your travel in South America? Have you met with a drug cartel, face to face?
Well, you don't know who is running the drug cartels, so I've definitely met a lot of people in Mexico. And obviously they're not. It's not like they have a badge saying drug cartel.
So, when you were traveling through South America, Amazon rainforest.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
Tell me, man, Amazon rainforest. Yeah, my dream. It's my dream to be there, man. The forest is so big. I've heard there are anacondas. There are many kinds of species of plants, animals that we don't yet have. Scientists have not yet discovered.
Yeah. So I don't know the exact numbers and stuff like that, but it's I think we estimate that we have put names, and we know how this plant, what it can do, on 1 to 2% of all the plants in the Amazon. So there's almost 99% of the plants we haven't even put a name on them. We don't know what they can do. So it's a that whole place is a mystery, and there's so much to discover still. plant medicine, for instance. Like that's a big thing there.
What was your take on it? Like, what was your experience with the Amazon?
Well, it's amazing. You are like far away from civilization, and you're just living in like a little hut on wooden stilts above the water. And when it gets dark, like you have like the sounds of thousands of different animals, and obviously no light. And well, you can go to different camps, but
The river?
well, the river, yeah, beautiful, huge. It's wide, it's massive. There's lots of by rivers on it, and it's a massive place. It's a huge area. So there's a lot of like variety in the place as well. If you are in Brazilian side, or if you're in Bolivia or Peru or Colombia.
Where did you enter the Amazon?
I was in the Amazon in Peru and Bolivia,
Everywhere.
2 different places.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, in the water there are piranhas, like.
Yeah, like piranhas. Yeah. We went fishing for piranhas. Yeah.
Tell me, man, what was that like? How was that?
You put some meat on the hook, and you put your rod in, and it takes 2 seconds, and then like you catch a piranha. Yeah.
Those
You know, they have areas where they are, so we obviously know where they are.
Okay.
And no, it's tasty. Like on the barbecue, it tastes like chicken. Tastes like chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, they eat a lot of meat.
Yeah, they eat a lot of meat. Maybe it's because they eat a lot of the chicken that we put in.
In the Amazon, like, you cannot go for a dip, right?
Yeah, you can. I think what we see about piranhas, maybe I'm wrong, but like cartoons where you get in and then you get eaten up.
Yeah.
Maybe if they are big and there's like a big horde of them and you can't really get into the boat again. But we were swimming, and obviously we didn't swim exactly where we were fishing.
Okay.
But there's stuff to be aware of, like snakes and spiders and
Okay, spiders also.
yeah, huge spiders. Yeah. So
Like venomous ones?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's like
I
a
hate spiders. I have no problem with snakes. I hate spiders.
okay.
You know, I don't know why. Especially when these
Hairy.
looks like a fucking shit ball.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like an alien. If you look into the face, it's a proper alien.
8 limbs, and when you zoom, if you have a zoom lens, if you have a macro lens, if you film it, man, it's out of the planet, right?
Yeah.
As you told, alien.
Exactly.
Alien.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So you have all that.
In the Amazon.
You have poisonous frogs and all different kinds of
Have
stuff.
been coded.
Yeah. Well, they also use it for different like medicine as well.
There are also many tribes, you know. Yeah.
Many tribes. Yeah. You call like tribes, and they have like they carry a wisdom like from like years and thousands of years back. And
Any interesting stories you want to share, like the.
well, I think that like as I said about India, like they're very like rich on culture and like wisdom and knowledge. Like it's the same in the Amazon. Like the tribes, there's so much knowledge that has been passed on, and it's not like sitting at a school desk with a book reading or like a language or about geography and stuff like that, but it's about plants. It's like the life, it's the environment, it's living, it's medicine, not medicine that comes from a pharmacy. Not if you go and you get some pills from here that is like made in a lab. This is medicine like growing from the plant, and they know exactly what medicine that works for whatever disease or condition that you're having.
And it works.
Yeah, well, I can't say that, but that's what like they have survived for thousands of years in the Amazon without help from modern society or from the medicine industry. And I think it's a very important thing that we keep that alive.
Do you think the tribes know secrets of the forest, like different kinds of animals and which are not yet been discovered? And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I'm sure there's so much out there that we don't know about in modern society.
maybe because they're
Well-
living with this land, like.
Well, first of all, there's also tribes that lives where there's not really access from around the world, like so, and they don't want people to enter because they want to stay in their own, which I really understand, because we all know what happens when the British come and colonize India, or when the Spanish come and colonize South America. You know, all the old, like the ancient, their life is changed. It's we want to. You know, when you colonize, you want to put a new industrial society on top of people, and there's not space for tribes that do their thing in their own way and use plants and stuff like that.
Do you think that they are living a very peaceful and happy life?
Yes.
Like better from we may have all the comforts and convenience, but you don't have happiness like these days?
It's tricky. I don't know, but
Like we are searching for freedom, for happiness. Do you think that they are much more simpler human beings?
yes, definitely. And I think when you live a simpler life, you live a more happy and peaceful life. So, but obviously, it's easy for us to sit and say, because we can go and explore the world, and then we can say, oh, that's not for me. I want to live that life, where it's set for them that they're gonna, stay there and they're gonna live that life. But I think eventually, as we get older, what we are searching and looking for is to be happy and to be like in harmony and in peace. So I think that they have, I wouldn't mind, but I like living a place like that. But I must say, the privilege of being able to then go there and stay for a year, maybe get to know about it, and then try something else. That is, we are very privileged that we are able, some of us can be able to do that. So
And we really understand how privileged we are when we go out in the world and look at.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will not understand. Like,
how would you know?
how would you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you tried Ayahuasca or something like that?
Ayahuasca.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, of course.
So, like people these days, it's trending. Man. What is that? Like, what is Ayahuasca?
It's
In South America, or correct me if I'm wrong.
no, it's the Amazon. It's
Okay, it's in the Amazon only.
It's plant medicine.
Okay, so
this
yeah,
is
please. What do you? What exactly is the? I don't understand it completely.
yeah.
So
You make a brew. So ayahuasca works with two different plants, and when you put them together, you make a brew. You cook it, and stir it for a long time, hours and hours, and then you drink it. And these two plants combined gives you this experience of, it's different things, but it's like, meeting ancestors and figuring out stuff with yourself, like realizing stuff. I feel like when I was drinking ayahuasca, that it took like down to the deepest self of me, and like the deepest secrets I had, and put them in my face, and like made me face them. You have to face your challenge, like your whatever is difficult for yourself. Because if you put stuff away, it just builds up. It's a medicine that gives you an ability to open up and understand yourself and the world and your environment better.
What was your experience on like Ayahuasca? Like,
Well, my experience was sitting in the middle of the Amazon, where it's you take it in the night, and it's pitch black, dark, and you have a shaman sitting in front of you, and he's just sitting smoking like some herbs, singing, chanting, and you are just sitting there, like having you drink the mix,
the mix, the Ayahuasca mix.
so ayahuasca. You drink that. It takes like an hour. Then you feel sick. You have to go to the toilet. You have to take a shit, or you have to puke, and then you kind of enter this. What can you call it? Like more of a like also spirit. Like it's very spiritual, yeah, and it's a different world. It's a psychedelic. It's a psychedelic substance.
How does it taste? Why the beer?
Doesn't taste too bad. Some people really don't like the taste. Doesn't taste too bad, but it definitely disturbs something in your stomach. Like it can't hold on to it. It feels like, I want to get rid of this. So that's why you.
What's the color of
That's
that?
very cute. It's like red, dark red, brownish.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like really potent. It tastes like, there's some flavor in this. Yeah. But the experience is very different from person to person. Like some has really crazy visuals and are being like sent, and they are together with their ancestors, and so it's very different. People use it as well to overcome if they have if they're alcoholics maybe, or drug addicts. Then it's something that can help you in your like rehabilitation phase, and
Do
so
you think people see spirits and like kind of like?
definitely,
Have you seen?
yeah, definitely,
Really?
yeah.
So, what?
Entities, spirits, you're feeling their presence, yeah.
Have you seen them?
Yeah. How does it look?
Yeah,
How does it take shape? I've been doing a lot of different psychedelics, and one of them is smoking DMT. DMT, you smoke it, and you smoke it on a glass pipe with some crystals, and you take 1 or 2 hits on it, hold it in, and then you get sent off to a different planet or to a different universe. I would call it like a parallel universe. I know that you also believe that.
Yes,
And it's you definitely meet spirits and entities in this parallel universe, and they how they look, difficult to say. It's not like really they have a face, but they have a presence. So they're there. You can feel it. You know it, and it's a female energy. You can definitely feel that it's like it's a warm female energy that's like, holding you and showing you this beautiful space. Like it's very colorful, all geometry changing all the time. Wheels are spinning on top of other wheels with different colors, and you're just taking on this journey, like just blasting through space. And takes like 10 minutes, and you're in this, and you feel like these spirits or entities, they are showing you this, like they're like, come and see our world where we live. And then as it slowly wears off, you get back to like normal, and then you can open your eyes, and then you realize you have eyes and you are a person, and then you are back to normal. But that's my experience with entities and spirits.
DMT is like, it's a chemical substance, or like
DMT, it comes from mimosa bark, which is like a tree, and you get it from there, and then there's a process of making it. But it's it's not like made in a lab. It comes from, and also what it does when you smoke it, it releases. It opens up, like it breaks down your default filter in your brain. Similar stuff that happens when master meditators, like monks that has been sitting in their cluster or in their temple meditating for 50 years, they can enter this space where the left part of the brain opens up in some way. They have made it's like scientifically proven, and they have scanned people that is in high meditative state and people who are smoking DMT, and it's the same stuff that it opens. So let's say it's actually not something that you inhale that brings you to this state. It just opens up something we already have in our brains.
Exactly.
Which is very exciting. It's also what people say, that it gets released when we die. So when we die, we have a DMT experience. That's what people say.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't know, but yeah. But so fascinating.
So do you think there is any harm in it? Like, what are the pros and cons of using ayahuasca or DMT? Like,
it's powerful. It's super powerful stuff. Now I'm sitting talking all about like the amazing things about it, and the colors and the entities and all that. But it's it's you want to be in a good space. You want to be a person where you are feeling like you know yourself, and you are it's not a thing you do as a teenager. It's a thing you'll do later on in life if you want to explore some other things that there is to this world. And the most important thing is mindset, that you have a good mindset. You're not going through a rough bit of like a breakup and you have lost your job, or like you're really depressed. So you want to be in a good mindset, like a good open-minded and good spirit and positive. And then setting, you don't want to sit in the middle of Delhi and do this.
absolutely.
You want to be in nature. You want to be in nature. You want to be surrounded by people that you know is going to take care of you and that loves you. And and then obviously you need to get the right dose. You need to understand what substance you're dealing with. It doesn't kill you, but you don't want to get too much, You want to get the right amount. It's the same with anything. But the thing is, when it's illegal, we don't get any information about it. So this is the stuff that you have to research. What you get, who you get it from, where is the source actually, and make sure that you have people around you that knows what to do.
Coming back to bananas, you're traveling for how many years are you traveling? For 2 years?
7.
7 years. So how do you manage the expense? Like, because many people want to travel, but things are costly.
Yeah.
So do you have a business, or like, how do you earn while traveling, or what is the finance?
So first of all, I travel really cheap.
Okay.
Yeah. Sleep in my tent. I told you about the canoe trip. Same with the bike. Cook my own food, sleep in my own tent. My transportation is my bicycle or the canoe or whatever. So actually, if I travel for a year, I spend around 7,000 euros.
Okay.
So it's cheap. and I can more or less make that in a few months when I'm back home in Denmark. So I'll be back and I'll be work as an outdoor instructor. I teach people in cycling, mountain biking, canoeing, kayaking, going on hiking trips, like guiding as well.
Okay.
So stuff like that.
So you save the money for the travel, and then again when it's like exhausting, go and work.
Exactly.
It's pretty good, man.
Yeah. And I also organize festivals, a music festival and an adventure festival.
Oh,
So
adventure festival in the sense like
in the sense of what I like myself, going on adventure. People that comes and speak about their adventures, shows amazing pictures and how they climbed a mountain or how they cycle around the world or whatever it might be.
So you came to India. So what is your plan? Like, how are you going to travel India? Like, what are the routes that you are going to take? What is your plan?
Well, the plan was to paddle from Gangotri,
Yeah.
from the source to the sea of Ganga.
Okay.
I got so we'll see.
Someday maybe.
Yeah, someday, exactly. But and I'm gonna finish off being in India with a motorcycle ride around Rajasthan.
So after KUMBH, you're going to where?
After KUMBH, I'll be in Goa.
You'll be in Goa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I will be in Rajasthan.
Okay, in Rajasthan.
Yeah.
And you will take and go there riding? Like, will you?
Motorcycle. Yes, exactly.
Okay. So I'm from Goa to Rajasthan by motorcycle.
Around Rajasthan. Yes.
Yeah, around Rajasthan.
Yeah.
And after that?
Then I'm gonna be in South Africa.
Okay, South Africa, like do you stay there or like?
Yeah, but my girlfriend lives there. I met her on my cycle trip.
Okay.
So So I have to, I want to go down and spend time with her and be with her.
Traveling gives you life partners, man.
Definitely does. Definitely does.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So before we end up, 2 questions more, and we will end up.
Yeah.
First is like, you have traveled for 7 years.
Yeah.
Tell me about an incident that you will never forget. Like, you told about your friend, like that was an unfortunate one, but like any kind of experience, it may be exciting, it may be sad, it may be like the adrenaline rush. It can be anything, like, but it has to be like you'll never forget it. Like 7 years, like you'll never forget it through the rest of your life.
Well, I can take one that happened quite recently when I started the trip from Alakananda River.
Okay.
We started on Pinda River, which is a smaller river further up than Alakananda. And I was in my whitewater kayak with my route guide Anup, and we started the trip, and it's hectic water. If you know something about whitewater kayaking, it's like it's class 4 plus, which is like you have to know what you're doing. You have to be able to navigate. And I got sucked in and stuck like in a whirlpool. Flipped like the kayak was flipped over, so I couldn't flip it back. And I was stuck there, and I thought for a second, fuck me, I'm gonna be stuck here. I'm gonna drown here. So, but that's adrenaline. That's like proper adrenaline, especially when you get out of it and you get in the canoe and the kayak again and you continue. Whitewater kayaking is such an adrenaline sport. There's so much power. The water is just like funneling you through this canyon and mountains on the both sides, and it's incredible. Yeah, I highly recommend people to go and try it. But like, have someone with you, an instructor, for the first few times. Understand how it works.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
But it's fun. That's always how it is. Life, you can live a very nice life and all that, but the more you touch the edge of something that is a little bit dangerous, the more you feel alive as well.
Exactly.
And it's important. It's important to feel alive. For me.
It's like almost like that. What is the joy of living life when you don't face near-death experience every second of it? What is the point of being alive then? Like when you come to this world, you need to just look around the beautiful planet. The planet is so big. The people experience so many different kinds of things happening. So what is the point of living a life that doesn't teach you that you are mortal? You're not immortal.
No.
I think personally.
Yeah,
that
I agree.
So last piece of advice, like for anybody who wants to travel, who is like maybe procrastinating, sitting in bed watching porn, or like because it's very common, and or in drugs or things like that, wasting their time. So for them, do you like any piece of advice you have for them?
My last piece of advice would be, if you're sitting at home thinking about you want to go travel, you want to do these things, do it. And if you don't have the money or the support or whatever, find a way to do it. If that's what you really want, if that's your dream, then that's your goal, then you do it. and you'll find your way. Promise you. You don't need a lot of cash. You don't need a lot of money. If you just set off and be brave and be curious, doors will open and amazing thing happens. Trust me.
Well, man, thank you, man. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you.
You too, buddy.
Man,
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. We are gonna wait for the next time. I would be very excited. Next time you come to India, please visit my house. I would be very happy to host you. So till then, goodbye.
Goodbye, buddy.
And-
Thank you.